Today in class we discussed applying the properties, and we've been dealing with the commutative property, the associative property, the distribution property, the identity property, the multiplicative property of 0, and the such in class. And we got introduced to those in Unit 1, and now we're really bringing them back into application in Unit 2. Especially the distribution property is going to be very important that you have a solid grasp of how the distribution property works when we're dealing with Unit 2. Our focus today in class was understanding a property proof. And so for homework you had a couple of property proofs that needed to be completed. And so we're going to look briefly at number 1 just so that we can get a reminder of how a property proof was to be done. And as you were told in class, the first reason for any proof is always going to be a given. And so next we need to identify what change took place between our first statement and our second statement. And here we'll see that what change took place is our 5 term that was on the end of this chain of multiplication got moved all the way up to the front, and 5 and 8 combined and became 40. And any time that you move or change the position of a term, that is the commutative property. So I will call that commutative property of multiplication. And so our next step is to say, okay, what change took place between statement 2 and statement 3? Well, the only thing that really happened was the expression within the parentheses was simplified, and the simplification process took place by subtraction. And so now then we can see what took place between statement 3 and statement 4. 40 times 4 is 160. The only thing that happened in that statement was multiplication. So our property proof for this first set of 4 statements would come with the reasoning given commutative property of multiplication, subtraction, multiplication. Now you can use this as an example to help you complete the other 3 property proofs. We also had to do some distribution and simplify. And so when we looked at a problem like 6 times the difference of x minus 3, and we want to distribute, I know that I'm going to take 6 and multiply it by both of the terms within the expression, or within the parentheses. So 6 will first get multiplied by x, which will give me 6x. And then 6 will also get multiplied by 3, which would give me 18. Keep my sign. So when I distribute the 6 through this set of parentheses, I will get 6x minus 18. Let's look at one more example, number 6. For number 6, we have negative 2 times the difference of 5x minus 3y. And so again, negative 2 will get distributed first to the 5x. So negative 2 times 5 is negative 10x. Minus negative 2 times 3y is negative 6y. And so since I have a minus and negative here, I will say negative 10x plus 6y. And these will get a little bit easier to do as you guys have more practice with them. So if you had difficulty with any of these today, don't worry. They will get easier. Just do your best. Pay attention to the rules, pay attention to the process, and we will have fun with it in class.